There exists a crop that defies every rule of modern agriculture. A plant so stubborn, so resilient, so endlessly generous that it feels like it comes from another world. It gives double the yield of potatoes, survives cold that kills wheat, and once you plant it, you never need to buy seeds again. It plants itself, it spreads itself. It becomes a food legacy that keeps renewing long after the original hands that placed it in the soil are gone. For thousands of years, this plant was humanity's quiet armor against famine. And then we erased it. Not because it was weak, not because it failed, but because it succeeded too well. A plant that refuses ownership, refuses dependence, refuses control, becomes a threat to systems built on selling what nature gives freely. This is the story of a perennial that endured empires, crossed oceans, survived world wars, and still hides beneath our feet. Still alive, still waiting. Welcome to Hidden Nature Vault. Before we unlock this forgotten archive, if these stories matter to you, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this vault with those who must remember what humanity once knew. Our vault opens on the eastern shores of North America in the year 1605. A French explorer, Samuel de Champlain, lands on the coast of what would become Massachusetts. The Algonquin welcome him with a feast: fish, venison, wild grains, and a strange knobby root they call kaishucpenauk, the sun root. Champlain tastes it and writes in his journal that it rivals the finest artichoke in Europe, a flavor unknown to his homeland, growing abundantly without being tended or begged. He fills his ship with tubers and sails for France. This mysterious root was the sunchoke, Helianthus tuberosus, a perennial sunflower that hides its treasure beneath the soil. But native tribes had known its gifts long before any European ever laid eyes on it. The Haudenosaunee told a story passed through generations. When Earth Woman died, giving birth to twin sons, sapling and flint, the first sunroots grew from her feet. A final gift, a food of survival shaped from sacrifice. A reminder that sustenance is sacred. The plant rises tall, 8 to even 10 feet, its yellow flowers turning with the sun like living compasses. But its true wealth lies underground. Clusters of tubers, white and gold and purple, storing inulin, not starch. Food that can be eaten raw, roasted crisp, boiled soft, dried into flour, cached in the soil all winter, and harvested whenever hunger comes. One planting could feed a family for generations. Its rhizomes spread like a living web beneath the earth, replenishing themselves endlessly. In 1805, when Lewis and Clark nearly starved crossing the Dakotas, Sacagawea saved them. She recognized tiny mouse caches dug near the prairie grasses. Inside were hundreds, sometimes thousands, of sunroots stored for winter. She dug them up, roasted them over fire, and kept the expedition alive. The yields were astonishing, a single plant giving 3 to 6 pounds of food, an acre producing more than wheat, more than potatoes, and in cold northern climates, more even than corn. Centuries later, modern trials confirmed what indigenous farmers already knew: 64,000 pounds per acre, without a drop of irrigation. Potatoes, with irrigation and perfect conditions, barely reached 53,000. But where nature gives freely, human systems complicate. The tubers were irregular, knobby, and difficult to wash. They didn't store for months like potatoes. And the inulin, though incredibly nutritious, caused gas in people unaccustomed to it. By the mid-1700s, Europe turned away from the sunroot and embraced the potato. Not because potatoes were superior, but because they fit the economic machinery Europe had built. Warehouses, markets, taxes, uniform shapes, predictable storage, not control. The sunroot could not be controlled. It grew too easily, it spread too freely. It demanded no permission. In North America, settlers dismissed it as a weed. They preferred European crops that required annual seed purchases, crops that kept farmers dependent. But the sunroot didn't care. It continued growing in ditches, along fence lines, in forgotten fields, outliving memories of the hands that once planted it. Then war reshaped the world. During World War I, Germany was strangled by Allied blockades. The winter of 1916 turnip winter was brutal. Potatoes failed, hunger rose like smoke. But in abandoned corners and wild patches, sunchokes still grew. They could not be seized. They could not be blocked. They waited underground, untouched by politics or borders. World War II was even worse. In 1940, Nazi forces occupied France and seized nearly all food. Potatoes were requisitioned for German soldiers. French families were left with scraps, rutabagas, and the hated topinambur. For 9 dark years, millions survived on sunroots. They caused gas, were hard to clean, and tasted of fear, hunger, and war. But they saved lives. Children grew up because of them. In the Netherlands, during the hunger winter of 1944, more than 20,000 people starved. Emergency guides told families to dig for tulip bulbs and sunchokes. Parents clawed frozen soil with bare hands, searching for any tuber that could keep their children alive. After the war, survivors refused to let sunroots on their tables. They associated the tuber with suffering, poverty, death, a food of desperation, not dignity. And so it vanished, from markets, from kitchens, from collective memory. But the plant didn't vanish. It kept growing. It always kept growing. Nutritionally, it remained a powerhouse. Only 3 calories per 100 grams. Rich in minerals, more potassium than bananas. High in iron, magnesium, B vitamins, and loaded with inulin, fuel for beneficial gut bacteria. It stabilizes blood sugar instead of spiking it. In the 1980s, diabetics wrote that eating sunroots daily reduced their insulin needs dramatically. The plant heals land as well. Its deep roots break compacted soil. Its presence prevents erosion. It thrives in drought, in poor land, in freezing cold down to 30 degrees C. In the 1960s, California produced pioneer Frida Kaplan saw sunchokes ignored in grocery stores under the misleading name Jerusalem artichoke. She renamed them sunchokes. Sales soared 600%. Chefs rediscovered their nutty sweetness. Fine dining embraced them. In the 1980s farm crisis, farmers sought independence from seed companies and chemical inputs. They experimented with sunchokes food, feed, ethanol. The crop worked, the economics didn't. No infrastructure, no buyers, no scaled system, but the idea survived, a crop for people, not corporations. In France, topinambur returned as a heritage ingredient, one of the légumes oubliés, the forgotten vegetables. In the 2000s, sunchokes appeared in farmers' markets across the US and Europe. Permaculture pioneers called them the Holy Grail. Plant once, harvest forever. Yet industrial agriculture still avoids them. Why? Because they cannot be controlled. They mature unevenly. They bruise easily. They store poorly. Machines lose half the crop. And their inulin-rich nature requires the eater's body to adapt, a concept modern food culture rejects. Thus they're labeled invasive, unruly, primitive. But what if the problem isn't the plant? What if the problem is a food system that fears anything truly independent? The sunroot quietly exposes the truth. Food does not need corporate chains. Abundance does not require control. Nature does not ask for permission to feed. Across history, foods that empowered communities were erased. Amaranth banned by conquistadors. Tepary beans sidelined by mechanized agriculture. Mesquite cleared for cattle. Fava beans replaced by expensive synthetic pills. Not because these foods failed, but because they could not be owned. The sunroot survived because it is unkillable. And now, as climate change threatens global crops, it may be the crop of the future. Droughts, floods, heat waves, soils exhausted. The brittle stability that fed billions is breaking. But the sunroot thrives in chaos. It stores water deep underground. It survives extreme cold. It outproduces corn, using 1/3 the water. It has been waiting for 4 centuries, waiting for a world that would need it again. French families survived occupation with it. Dutch children lived because of it. Native nations honored it as sacred. Names changed, memories faded. But the plant never left. It waits in every wild patch, every roadside, every garden, where 3 tubers become 30. It teaches through persistence that abundance was never scarce. It was always here, growing quietly in the soil, free. If this vault awakens something in you, subscribe Hidden Nature Vault and hit the bell. Every like, every share preserves what they tried to erase. The next vault opens soon.